All right, y'all, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business and see if it has BSS for these two Google searches. And we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More of that in the pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph, in white down there. Highest intent people on the left. Google search, social search, people search for a boudoir photographer in their city, like right now. And our videos here focus on that, talking about BSS. And over on the right, the lowest intent people that ain't searching for boudoir right now, and most of them don't even know what the heck it is. They are got to reach them with the interruption ads via, Instagram, Facebook. Our sister brand talks about that, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so BSS, boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots, yeah, we're dying a fast death here because we'd be on page 2 or deeper. And we already have the data. We know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So basically, if we're on, approximately 80% of Google searches are page 1 and done searches. So we care about that. That's the bulk of the market. So we got to dominate page 1. And even if we got 1 slot on page 1, that's still not good enough. It's because there's 10 organic slots there. There's going to be approximately 9 other boudoir photography businesses. And as a result, we're looking the same as everyone else. And guess what a buyer behavior is going to be doing? There's going to be clicking every single link on page 1. Approximately 80% of them. All page 1, contacting everyone, never even going to page 2. Price shopping everyone, negotiating, uh, bringing down margins, killing margins for everyone. And we do not want any of that either. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's accepted, it's common, but it's not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And I know this is not normal because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days with a new strategy we developed. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are 1, market saturation, which everyone knows about. Just more peeps over time, get a new iPhone, get a new camera, and they decide to throw up their Google My Business page, saying they shoot boudoir, their website saying they shoot boudoir, and they're also start posting the mom Facebook group saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. So it's more number of sellers over time to the same number of buyers, and really, really, makes it difficult for every other boudoir photographer in the city. And as a result, the second thing we care about, and the second deeper root cause, is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is one that basically nobody knows about. It's kind of where a lot of boudoir photographers simply agree or kind of automatically accept that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google, and if you got it, sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. Or boudoir photographers enter, you get relegated to page 2, which means invisible to approximately 80% of boudoir buyers who never even go to page 2. They're page 1 only peeps, and just kind of, well, hopefully somebody deletes their website. Hopefully I can move back up to page 1, but no, is incorrect. Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days. So got to break through the false belief to then see if there's, solutions out there outside the mental cage or the brain cage when we've been accepting page 1 equality. And yeah, in 2 pictures, we'll see the solution. Now, boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So yeah, if we got 0 slots page 1, we're page 2 or deeper, we're visible to approximately 80% of the market. We're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot page 1, we're looking the same as everyone else. We're basically invisible. We're still disappearing. And as disappearing boudoir photographer, this is the kind of warning light, the flashing signal of telling us our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. Now, thankfully, we do have a solution. Thank the universe. we've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. So it works exactly as the name says, social search saturation. We actually saturate social search with the highest intent buyer, boudoir buyer keywords. And when we do that, it's kind of like the snow on the backside of the Andes Mountains that then melts into small streams, small rivers. Andes Mountains down there in South America. And once you get enough snow, enough water going down, eventually it flows into the Amazon River, which is page one on Google. But we got to focus on getting enough snow up top, enough social search saturation for then flow down onto Google page one search. So, and this has been the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight against a deeper root cause of market saturation and give boudoir photography business a chance to actually grow in the face of more and more market saturation, and give that chance in a relatively quick time frame. The only other solution I've seen to this to fight against market saturation is have a large, massive, well-known brand in the area. But dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years minimum. We ain't got that time. We got AI taking peeps jobs. We gotta get cooking. So SQ methodology is the only thing I've seen that can help with that. And the estimates from what I've looked at, I believe it can help create a well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than normal methods. Now, kind of an example of fighting back against market saturation successfully. Let's say we are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's approximately, there's approximately 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, trying to rank page one on Google. And guess what? We're like, all right, we're in price shop to death. Can't get out page one. We gotta, dude, our only chance, either build a brand, takes 5 to 10 years, or something that could do relatively quickly, SQ methodology. So we're like, all right, we'll do SQ methodology. We'll crank it up to the max and go maximum extreme. And let's say we take up the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords on social search. And when we do that, let's say it flows onto Google, and we get the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer Google searches as well. And so, anytime a buyer searches for boudoir in our city on social search, the social media networks, or on Google, we're basically the only one they can find, because Google is 10 organic slots per page. And, so that's like 30 pages is us. They basically got to go to page 31 to find any of our competitors. So if they can really only find us, even though there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers, whose business is still growing? Obviously ours. And then if they, our other competitors, 999,999, they're basically all disappearing, slowing down, exiting the market. And so this is, it's an extreme version of what SQ methodology could do, or what it could enable. But again, this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that, is even close that this is possible. Now, once treated with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. So we get our initial benefit, more links on page one. We get our second, now our second initial benefit here is every new link we get on page one actually kicks competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this second initial benefit the best, because we're actually relegating our competitors page one deeper, effectively invisible to approximately 80% of the market, who never even hits page two. They do page one and done in Google searches, and make them disappearing boudoir photographers, and eventually force them to exit the market. So it's actually a really good second initial benefit. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC universe recommends to hit the 3 out of 10 minimum slots page one Google search. And once we hit those, actually, basically everyone else will have one slot for themselves, page one on Google. So we'll be dominating all those peeps. We'll look way more. Google recommended us way more. And also in the rare case, someone else has 2 slots, page one Google search, we'll be dominating them as well, so we'll have 3. So that's why the GBC universe recommends us hit 3 out of 10 slots. No, wrong way. A boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our full, micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. We finally have a solution. Thank the universe, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. Now my results here utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I want to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. So I did that and I utilized S cubed methodology. That's the results I got. So going down to the organic slots here. We got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Organic slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. And did all this without even having a website. So I'm from 0 to 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search, all in 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. So these were my results that I got. And now we're gonna check out this. We're gonna see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, what we've been talking about, boudoir search sameness. All right. The first search, we always do the local search. This is boudoir photographer, Langley Township, British Columbia. So it's out east, some suburb part or whatever of BC. So we got the Google 3-pack. All right. Now we're at the the organic. So we got Klein. All right, this is who we're looking for. So we got one slot. And then let's see. All right, Klein again, but that's Langley Branding Photographer. It's not boudoir. We're not relevant to the keywords that we actually searched. So people's brains are actually going to scroll right by this, not even see it because they're searching for boudoir. And this happens like instantly in their brain. So that doesn't count. Going down, going down, going down. All right, so Klein we got 1 out of 10 here. So that's BSS for this search, the local search. Let's go to the city level search. Now we're searching boudoir photographer, Vancouver, BC. So we're still looking for Klein again. All right, we got Klein here, boudoir, all right. And that's it. We got BSS for both searches. So as more market saturation happens, higher chance, we'll begin pushed off, that we get pushed off page 1 to page 2 of death. And even on page 1, we're looking the same as everyone else, having only 1 out of 10 links here. So again, this is the false belief of page 1 equality in action, which is actually the most common false belief I'm seeing among boudoir photographers. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done local search for the highest intent buyer keywords in your city, and you saw in your local area, and you did a second search in your city, and you saw that you actually do have BSS in one or both of the cities, or you saw that you did not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots, and you're saying, oh, finally, thank the universe, something to finally solve this. S cubed methodology is here, so you decide you want to use S cubed methodology, and that's because page 1 equality is a false belief, which allows you to even look for a solution in the first place. And once you do that, you like the initial benefit, more slots on page 1. You like the other initial benefit, kicking more competitors off of page 1, so that way fewer, your price out gains way fewer number of boudoir photographers. And you understand the market saturation. Yeah, there's 2 prongs. People get a new iPhone, cool. More boudoir photographers. People get a new camera, cool. More boudoir photographers. But you're actually thinking of this new 3rd prong. You're thinking ahead. You're saying, okay, AI's taking a few people's jobs now. It's going to keep taking more and more people's jobs into the future, into the future, into the future. And as it takes more and more people's jobs into the future, into the future, into the future, you actually want to fortify your position on page 1, prepare for the onslaught of new boudoir photographers, be a force to the market, because look, people still got to earn money. If they lose their job, they got a phone with amazing cameras. So we know new boudoir photographers will always be entering. And so you want to fortify your position, kind of like the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city's like below sea level. They got to throw the levees up, extra fortification, so they don't get flooded. So you're seeing that, and you actually saying, okay, S-cubed methodology can also use for exactly that, fortifying existing presence, page one, and across all social search. And you actually want to have page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and achieve boudoir search visibility because you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the extra back-end things that S-cubed methodology does, where if you successfully execute it every day, you're increasing the probability every single day. Well, we execute it every day. That AI overview will recommend you. And that's because when we do S-cubed methodology, we're actually building these invisible thematic keyword columns for AI search to take in, kind of occupy more and more AI mind space or brain space in all these different AIs. So we're building different invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like columns with Parthenon, Athens, and Greece, or like hub and spoke, like a bicycle tire, or where the hub in the middle are, or at least our business name across all socials and our website is the hub in the middle. And as we build these up more, we got more frequency, more authority, more relevance, more age. So all these increase the probability of us being recommended for the premium placement AI overview, and us being recommended in all the AI search platforms, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. And as a result, kind of this like invisible momentum we can build up. And you're saying you decide you're going to be the first one in your city to do this because, that my current plan right now is to work with only one boudoir photographer at a time. So you can actually close out all your competitors from doing this, get all these initial benefits, build up this invisible momentum, put a massive gap between you and the current boudoir photographers, and especially the future boudoir photographers that will eventually become boudoir photographers as AI eats more and more jobs. And you also know doing S-cubed methodology also supremely speeds up forming your own brand. So it helps compete against current market saturation, and doubly so, helps your brand become a household name way faster. My estimate is probably 8 times faster than traditional ways. Just because, dude, we're everywhere all the time. Social search, Google search, AI search. Just people won't be able to get away from us. And on the flip side, you see that if another competitor, if one of your competitors in your city works with me, and we do all those things for them, they get all those initial benefits, and the momentum built up for the secondary later on benefits, then what actually happens is there's a big gap between me and your competitor and then you. And to close that gap, you got to increase the well, first you got to rederive or derive for yourself the first time S-cubed methodology, how it actually works and how to successfully implement it. And then you got to go execute it day, and equal our effort. And if you do that correctly, well, you're never going to be 100% confident executing it because you'll never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. But even if you're equaling all our effort, you're simply maintaining the gap between me and your competitor and you. And so to outcompete us, you got to rederive it correctly, figure it out all correctly, and then you got to out execute us by like 2 or 3x. And it's like, dude, who's got the 80 hours in a day to do all that? So you decide to screw that. It's better for you to actually be the first mover in your city, lock out all your competitors from using this, and kind of roll this to victory. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DMs open. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But when I do open my DMs, shoot me a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize S-cubed methodology.